Life and Beth is a half-hour dramedy on Hulu. Kind of a drama, kind of a comedy, I guess.
It definitely has both.
Its full 10-episode first season premiered on Hulu Friday, March 18th. It was created by and stars Amy Schumer as Beth. It also stars Violet Young as Young Beth, Michael Rappaport as Leonard, Yamaneka Saunders as Maya, Michael Cera as John, Kevin Kane as Matt, Susanna Flood as Anne, and Laura Benanti as Jane. The series deals with Beth, a woman on the verge, also in quotes, of 40, who is unhappy with her life and looking to make changes. I'm trying to be vague so I don't spoil much, though I feel like we can't really talk about this show without being spoilery. And I watched episode 1 of this and I was like, what have I done? This is literally the worst week we've ever had. But then I watched the other 9 and that sentiment did not stay. I did not hate this as much as I did in the beginning when it was over. I didn't hate it at all, actually. I didn't dislike it.
Same.
I didn't love it. I liked it. The plot is like someone who is unhappy in their life, who makes some drastic changes after a big event.
It's episode 1. Her mom dies.
Yeah, episode 1, her mom dies. So she lives in New York City. She's from Long Island, where her mom lives, right? So she essentially moves back to Long Island while still working her wine distributor job and just tries to make changes to be happier. She breaks up with her boyfriend who proposes to her and starts a romantic relationship with someone else that she meets or attempts to. I'm still trying to not be spoilery. Did you like this show though?
There were moments that I really enjoyed. There was one episode in particular that I really enjoyed, the one that mostly focused on her as a child, just because getting that full amount of background in that episode felt very valuable to the story. This show deals with just, the kind of incidental trauma you can build up. There's a lot of
flashbacks to her childhood in this series.
Yes, like every episode has 2 or 3, and I feel like those are maybe, except for that one episode, they're maybe like 10% of any given episode. That 10% was like 30-ish% of the highlights of the episode to me. Because that was where like the real meat of the story actually was.
Yeah, it's a lot of like how your childhood experiences can frame who you are as an adult.
And coping with that as an adult, and trying to put like, what people are doing their best at or worst at or whatever, and framing that and seeing how it impacts you and all those things.
Yeah, it's true. I think a lot of the flashbacks are good. I mean, even in episode 1, when she's doing karaoke, she starts like yelling the Ace of Base song. I was like,
yeah.
Okay, maybe I'm on board here.
I would not have watched episode 2 if we didn't have to after that episode.
I wouldn't have either. Episode 1 is not a good first showing.
No,
at all.
That happens sometimes with some shows.
It does. Sometimes season 1's not great of certain shows.
Yeah, that's terrible.
Even though I did like it in the end, it comes off as a rich person fantasy to me, where they're like, I live in a city and I have all these like responsibilities. I kind of wish I could just go to a smaller city and live a simple life with a simple man that doesn't deal in bullshit. This guy just says what's on his mind. I'm going to quit my job.
Yeah.
Much less responsibility, much less hustle and bustle, Yeah, she even quits her job that she's about to make a lot more money at to follow her passion, which she kind of doesn't seem to succeed at. But a lot of it's like follow your heart type stuff. And I think it's like, especially from the point of view of someone who has like some fame and notoriety, saying, what if I just walked away from all this, lived a simpler life? So it kind of just seems like that sort of fantasy to me. Still, I think like you said, the most of the relatable stuff is the flashbacks. Those are done very well. The story is pretty realistic though, which kind of isn't for everybody. Would you recommend Life and Beth?
More than anything else I've seen from Amy Schumer, yes.
I don't think Life and Beth is for everyone.
I agree. If
you relate to anything said about the character or like dealing with shit that happened to you as a kid, you still think about any like mortifying moments you had, this might be more relatable. So then it'd be for you then, but it's not for everybody. But I did enjoy it. And I do think it's probably the best thing Amy Schumer has done.
If you had perfect parents, the show's not for you.